mass paratroop assault is one of the most spectacular of military operations. These Australian soldiers of the sky are equipped with machine guns, naturally. But there's field artillery too. Cannon to be sent down in sections by parachute. General MacArthur, commander of the New Guinea campaign, directs the paratroop thrust through the sky against the Japs. And now the motors are roaring. Inside the paratroop transports, aerial soldiers are ready for the jump. Some so much at ease that they sleep until their turn comes to fix parachutes for the leap into space. They are nearing the point selected for the mass descent. And now the plane disgorges a stream of paratroopers. In the wiping out of Japanese positions on the North New Guinea coast, parachute invasions have played a decisive part. And this mighty swarming of aerial invaders is the greatest of the campaign. This is one of 3 types of assault that are presented in spectacular Army Air Force motion pictures. Fighter planes fly to strafe a Japanese position in the jungle and rake it with gunfire. Then a similar strafing attack on an air base at Wwii. And here the American fighters catch the Japanese warplanes neatly lined up on the far side of that field, like sitting ducks to be riddled by the gunfire. The news tells of 60 knocked out in one blow like that. Here's a survey of another mode of air assault, high-level bombing, a precision aiming of explosive which streams down on enemy positions far below for a pattern of explosion. The falling, flaming fragments of a Liberator bomber which was hit in air battle. Perhaps the crew escaped as it caught fire and then exploded. Now comes a film study of a novel type of bombing. Hedge-hopping planes hurl delayed action bombs. These are timed to explode some seconds after they are dropped, so the planes flying so low will be clear of the burst.
And just arrived from a South Pacific jungle battlefront, these official Signal Corps pictures. Grim evidence of glorious victories bought at a price of deathless valor. For these are American wounded who would have us know that the end is not yet clearly in sight, that the war has yet to be won. They plead for your total all-out support in the war bond drive. To these heroic wounded, your war bonds are fighting dollars to provide the tanks, the planes, the ships, the guns. Your war bonds are the shortcuts to Tokyo and Berlin. So let there be no complacency, no let-up till the hour of final victory. Support them with your bonds, with your blood donations. How small a contribution when this precious blood plasma saves his life. So back the attack with bonds to broaden his battle-scarred smile.
Across the English Channel, and the target is a Nazi base in France. Vivid motion picture scenes filmed in action, low-level bombing action. A war flight on one of those days of air assault when thousands of sorties are made in the work of pulverizing Nazi power from the air. The target, a mass of explosions and fire. Flying low and hurling delayed action bombs, the warplane in which the camera rides plays a part in the round-the-clock bombing that casts the shadow of ominous wings on the dominion of the Nazis. Night attack against the Japs in the Solomon Islands, and there's a fantasy of fire in the darkness of the jungle country. An air view of a night naval bombardment. modified version of the round-the-clock air assaults, a rain of bombs pours down. We seize islands from the Japs, and this leads to violent action. They are out to strafe Jap ships and rake a landing craft. The enemy trying to put reinforcements ashore. These pictures made by the Army Air Corps are vivid with the scenic drama of the Southwest Pacific Air War. Under the fire of the strafing guns, the landing craft goes to burning destruction. The air camera shows us a destroyer which they strafe. And then the Japanese warship is bombed. That sealed the doom of the Japs at Munda Airfield. As American troops advance by land, an amphibious force of Marines from Rendova Island makes a landing to flank the enemy air base. Through the jungle, the dark equatorial forest, with tanks crashing through the almost solid wall of tropical thicket. They must wipe out Jap machine gun positions and snipers. Gunfire searches the foliage for snipers in the trees. Snipers, the advancing troops, shot out of the trees, the Japs resisting to the last as the Americans continue their relentless advance to the Munda airfield. They have the support of air power, dive bombers blasting enemy positions with bursting high explosives. And the airfield is captured. American soldiers are royal guests in Egypt. North of Munda, American warships defeat the Japs in a fantasy of sea battle at night. Almost the entire crew was saved of the American cruiser that was sunk, the Helena, torpedoed. The Japs lost many ships and took a heavy beating in the Battle of Kula Gulf, which doomed their land forces at Munda. The victory cheers the survivors of the Helena, who are eager to get at the enemy again. In the final Battle of Sicily, the retreating Nazis